I'm gonna let y'all in on all the tea, baby. Welcome to my first video of a woman's work. I am really so excited to be doing this. Honestly, it's been a long time coming. I've had so many people ask me to get started in this. I really see this as like a ministry. And I just have so many close-knit relationships and people that reach out to me and they want to hear about your girl. They want to hear about my journey. They want to hear about the things that I've experienced with marriage and, you know, having a kid. How is my relationship with God? How do I maintain work, career? Let's talk about it. So I will say, like, one of the main things that's really held me away from doing this a lot quicker was just feeling like I'm talking to myself.
What?
I really like to have conversations with people. That's always been my thing. Just, I get into it, okay? Conversations with people has been my thing, but I think that I just want to get started. It's only so much holding back that I can do, and if I just don't get started, you know, then I'm never going to start. So here we are. First episode, A Woman's Work. Thank you guys already. I know y'all gonna tune in and watch. So yeah, where should we start? I really feel like being a woman is genuinely hard, especially finding your space in womanhood. You know what I'm saying? A space where you can exist, where you feel like yourself, where you feel like you're falling apart and coming together all at the same time, where you're learning and unlearning. I definitely feel like I kind of came up on the rockier side of things. I was very hard and tough and rough, but I am really into my womanhood now, and I'm really into softening up, especially now that I'm married and I have a man who's very masculine. You know, I've just learned that there is just no space for me to be masculine. There is no space for me to hold a manly presence anymore. And so I really want to make sure that I do my due diligence in growing in my femininity and being all that God has called me to be as a Proverbs 31 woman. Proverbs 31 is just so amazing. It describes exactly how God calls the woman to be as his daughters, the emotional, you know, kind of weight and aura that we need to carry. And he has really allowed me to see that I would say naturally some of that, but generally I hadn't really tapped into that aspect of myself because I felt like I had to, you know, be harder. The world and society today just makes you feel like you need to be so hard. And honestly, I'm learning that that is a choice. You know what I'm saying? Especially being married. You have somebody who should be there to protect you, who should be there to make you feel like if you come across any trouble or any hardships in life that are just bearing down on you, that make you want to respond in such a masculine way, that they'll be there to support you through that and make your load a lot lighter. And I think that that's just a space that I'm in. I want to be lighter. I want to feel lighter. I want to exemplify what it means to be the woman that God called me to be, what it means to be a daughter of Zion, what it means to be his daughter and walk in that holy presence, that holy calling. And so that's where I am. And I always, if you know me, I always talk about dirty martini, like cherry pie in the windowsill kind of woman. Like, I just feel like back in the day, women, and whether it was by force or not, you know, women just were so much more feminine. They wore dresses all the time. They were more modest and more put together. And they baked and they did things like that, and they had the time to. But now I feel like, you know, we're just really hard. We're really promiscuous. We're out there. There's nothing secretive about us. And I just feel like sharing my journey with that, and, you know, speaking to the fact that it's visible, that, you know, it's a problem. It is a problem in our society today. And I feel like, you know, if we start with ourselves and we really work on ourselves and we work on our hearts, that starting with women could actually heal the earth. I don't know if you believe that, but I believe that. I believe that Satan came to Eve in the garden because he knew that we were the weaker vessel. But he also knew the power that we had to steer the rest of the world, and to convince and to manipulate things the way that we think that they should be. And so that tells me a lot about who we are as women. We have the power to change things, you know, but we have to be accountable, and we have to see what ways is the enemy manipulating us to not walk in our light and be that for the people in the world. So that is a little bit about what this podcast is going to be. I can't speak to everything. I'm open to wherever God takes me on this. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what all I'm going to talk about. I've got a ton of great suggestions. Y'all want to hear about my journey getting married. Y'all want to hear about what it's like to balance a career and be a mom. How do I fit all of that into my schedule? Y'all want to hear about how do I maintain my sense of religion and spirituality in this world today? Y'all want to hear about my relationship with my husband. Again, that goes back to the marriage thing. What are some things that we've experienced early on? How did we get to where we are now? I'm gonna let y'all in on all the tea, baby. Women are important to this earth. We're important to our children. We're important and valuable to men. And we must be important to God for him to make us from rib and not dirt. You know what I'm saying? So if we're so important and we're so valuable to God, and we are so valuable to the people whose lives that we have the opportunity to grace, that tells me that we need to do a lot of work. A lot of work has to be done amongst us. And it's not my job to fix anybody. That's stuff that I'm having to learn along the way. It's not my job to fix women. But I think that if we had more examples of what we should be, and more examples of women speaking up about how hard it is to exist as what we were expected to be, and how hard it is to manage all of the jobs that are placed on us, that we'll have more women encouraged to step up to the plate and test themselves and challenge themselves daily to become more of who they should be. So I titled this podcast and this vlog series as A Woman's Work, because there's always work to be done. Go on this journey with me. Go on this journey with me. Choose yourself. Let's invest into who we should be. Let's take pride in the fact that we are called to be women, that we're called to pour into people. And sometimes we don't know how we're going to do that. You know, sometimes we don't know where we pull it from. But if you pay attention, we always get put in a position to pour even when we feel empty. And that is because God loves us so much that he's able to keep what we feel is an empty cup full enough to give. And that's something to think about. That is just something to think about and dwell on. So from here on out, I'm going to make it my personal job to open up and to be honest about my experience on what that's like. And to show you and tell you how hard it is, but how rewarding and how purposeful it feels to actually challenge myself to be exactly what God has called me to be. And that is a wife, and that is a mother, and that is a sister, and that's a friend. Yeah, I want to start there. And I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I love y'all all so dearly. I love all my sisters, everybody that I've connected with. I genuinely love and care about wholeheartedly. And I want the best for us. And I want us to go on this journey together to make sure that we have a community that we feel safe to be ourselves, but to be honest about what it's like being us. So you guys will see a whole bunch of features. I'm going to have some of my friends on here. I'm going to invite some of my girls that watch, my clients. We're just going to get to it. So thank y'all for joining me. This first episode should not be too long, I hope. But I'm just really happy to be here and to be finally taking this step forward. So I love y'all. I love y'all a million. Hopefully I come up with some kind of catchy song or intro or something and some kind of cute name for y'all. But right now, y'all are just my sisters. Y'all are my sisters, and I love y'all. And I look forward to going on this journey with you guys and having y'all present with me. Much love.